Haunting in Ponyville by Jasonthehuman. Chapter 2 Rumors. The trees in the Ponyville were only just beginning to lose their leaves, the bright orange standing in contrast to the cloudy gray skies. Bonbon was out early, heading out to the market for some extra ingredients. She yawned. This past night's sleep, if you could call it that, had been uneventful, but she had been on edge ever since yesterday afternoon. She spent the whole night tossing and turning in bed. If she ever managed to close her eyes, they would snap back open at the slightest noise. The wind against the window panes, the house creaking as it settled, even Lyra snoring from down the hall. Speaking of which, Lyra didn't even seem phased at all. She grabbed her lyre this morning and headed out to the park to play, like any other day. Bonbon had left too. It was just a shopping trip, though. It was like she was trying to avoid being home. Bonbon! Hey! She turned her head at the sound of her name. The glow from Colgate's horn faded as she finished hanging a couple up in the window of her dentist's office. She then trotted over to meet Bonbon. "What's up?" said Colgate. She glanced back at her work. Paper bats and strings of light were hung over the front of the building. "Pretty cool, huh? What do you think?" "It's nice," Bonbon said, frowning. She noticed a few fake skeletons, just regular, anatomically correct ponies, instead of the disturbing creations Lyra insisted on using at their house. Still wasn't much of an improvement. "Getting the Nightmare Night decorations out a little early, I see." "Yep! I mean, last year gave us such a tough act to follow. Any idea if Princess Luna's coming back this year?" "We gotta make this the best Nightmare Night ever." Bonbon twisted the use of that phrase. "Oh, and I'm sure it will be. And I still need to get a costume ready, or else I'll just have to wear my work clothes like last time," Colgate said, rubbing her chin. "You've probably been busy too. I'm sure you'll be sending a lot of business my way next month." "Huh? Oh, of course." Bonbon managed to smile. "Hey, it's just a joke. Lighten up," Colgate said. "You're sure you're okay? You look exhausted." "It's nothing, really." "It doesn't look like nothing." Bonbon hesitated. "You'll think I'm crazy if I tell you." Colgate rolled her eyes. "Have you seen the ponies in this town? You're about as sane as they can get." Then, almost as an afterthought, "This isn't something that Lyra did again, is it?" "No, not this time." Bonbon took a deep breath and continued. "Yesterday, I was home working, and there's just been unexplained noises, among other things. Lyra and I both experienced it." Colgate glanced back at her decorations. "You mean you've got a ghost?" "I'm not saying that," Bonbon said. "Well, honestly, there's not much else that makes sense, but Lyra seems to think so, and for once she may be right." "Nah, I believe you," Colgate said with a shrug. Bonbon blinked at her. "What?" "Look, it's not something many ponies talk around here about anymore, and I thought you already knew." Colgate's voice dropped low. "Knew what?" Bonbon frowned. "About your house." There's something in the way Colgate said that Bonbon really didn't like. "It's just like any other house town, though, isn't it? Of course, the kitchen's rather spacious, which is why—" Colgate shook her head. "No. It's about what happened there. You mean you've never heard the stories?" "Stories? What do you mean, stories?" Bonbon said, moving in closer. "It's not something ponies talk about much anymore. Back when it happened, though, I doubt there was a single pony in Equestria who didn't hear about it," Colgate said. "I was surprised that you and Lyra never knew. Who sold you your house? Didn't they tell you?" "Come to think of it," Bonbon said. She tilted her head, trying to remember the exact details. "I suppose we did buy it rather cheap. I always thought it was because the roof had a leak when they sold it to us." "Maybe that's all they said it was. But the truth is, they had a lot of trouble finding ponies to buy that house," Colgate said. "Ever since that night, ponies tend to avoid 41 Blueberry Lane." "Blueberry," Bonbon said, raising an eyebrow. Colgate stared at her for a moment, not comprehending. "Huh?" "Our house is at 41 Blueberry Lane. Have you ever been visited by us before?" "Oh!" Colgate catched the dry leaves awkwardly for a moment, then looked at her. "Really?" "We've lived there for a few years now. We've never had anything like this happen." "Blueberry Lane, huh?" Colgate said. "Yeah, Blackberry Lane's on the other end of town from you, then. I guess that would explain why you never responded to any of my heartwarming cards." "So—" Bonbon stared at her. "Yeah, I've never heard about any horrible things happening on Blueberry Lane." Colgate was back to her usual cheery self. "Nice part of town, actually." "What about the other house?" Bonbon asked. The one over on Blackberry? Colgate, sir. It's better if you don't know. I mean, whatever happened over there, it was just awful. So, I guess the price was cheap because of the leaky roof? Probably, Colgate nodded. We'll get it fixed now. That's good. Colgate glanced around. Well, I better get back to decorating. See you later, Bonbon! Colgate turned and headed back to her work. Bonbon continued in the other direction. That has just been uncomfortable. It would absolutely be best not to tell anybody else what was going on. She hadn't even want to let Colgate know originally. I just realized this is like Colgate's first appearance on this show! A shadow passed overhead. Bonbon looked up to see Fluttershy, loaded down with browsing saddlebags. Good morning, Fluttershy, she said. Fluttershy turned and hovered in midair. Why, hello there, Bonbon. She then shrieked, Bonbon! I mean... Nah, it's fine, Bonbon said with a friendly smile. Just saying hello, I didn't mean to frighten you. No, of course not. Fluttershy died, searching around for a way to escape. I'm very busy. I need to help the squirrels and chipmunks get ready for winter. Please follow me. Bonbon stared in confusion as Fluttershy zoomed off, a few acorns falling out of her pack. She didn't even seem to notice. Normally, Fluttershy would be happy to stop and chat for a few minutes. She had known Bonbon for years. Maybe she had just been in a hurry. Fall could be a beautiful time for a lot of ponies. Or maybe... Bonbon stomped a hoof in frustration. Lyra! She muttered under her breath. She continued through town, just thinking of all the things she would say to her roommate when she got back home. What was going on in their house was nothing to brag about. Certainly not to Fluttershy. That poor Pegasus looked absolutely terrified. There were only a few other ponies wandering around the market stalls. Bonbon made their purchases without stopping to chat with any of the vendors. A few bags of sugar, assorted fruits, flavored extracts. Was she running low on vanilla? She couldn't remember, but it didn't hurt to pick up some extra. Her shell bags filled up quickly. She would make a return trip as she planned on making caramel apples. Maybe she could get around to them this weekend. Bonbon ran through her mental checklist. With what she had, she would at least be good for the rest of the day. If she had to make a return trip tomorrow, that certainly wouldn't be a problem. She was still getting her work done, even if she wasn't in the house. It was nice to get out of the kitchen anyway. No, it wasn't a problem at all. Hi, Bonbon! The loud shrill voices made her cringe for a moment. She forced a wide smile and turned around. Apple Bloom, Sleepbell, and Scootaloo were staring up at her with wide grins on their faces. Hello, girls. Is there anything I can help you with? She said. Is it true? Scootaloo said, leaning forward. Is what true? That you've been hearing strange noises in your house at night, Scootaloo said. Bonbon stared at the fillies in shock. How did you know? Lights moving around the room? Apple Bloom inched towards her. Cold winds blowing out of nowhere, Sleepbell added, pushing her way past the others. Bonbon shook her head. Girls, I really don't... Maniacal laughter echoing from the halls. A headless pony galloping through the hallways. You're other transformed into a flaming portal to Tartarus? Girls! Bonbon took a step back, eyes wide with shock. Where did you ever hear such things? Well, Sleepbell exchanged glances with her friends. Lyra was telling us about what happened yesterday. Bonbon clicked her tongue. I should have known Lyra would tell every pony about this. Listen, girls, there's nothing to be scared of. I'm not scared, Scootaloo said. I think it sounds cool. Well, anyways, none of that is true, Bonbon said. She took a deep breath in to calm down. Now, run along, do whatever it is you feel is due. I have some important errands to get done. The three of them all turned at the same time and dried off. Before they were out of earshot, Bonbon heard Apple Bloom tell the others. So don't we have to worry about her candy turning into swarms of bugs, right? Bonbon shook her head in disbelief. Fillies would believe in anything, wouldn't they? Her suspicions were confirmed. She'd have a few choice words for Lyra once you got home, that was for sure. The shopping trip had been mostly unnecessary. Bonbon was aware of that. With all the ores she had, she would use the extra ingredients eventually. There's no doubt about that. But the cupboards were overstocked as it was. She didn't like to admit it herself, but she had honestly just wanted a few extra minutes out of the house. Even after Lyra left this morning, it still felt like there was somebody else there. It was silly, she realized that. The house was clean and few now as she headed down the street. It's a perfectly normal thatched roof-like cottage, like all the others. Haunted houses didn't look like that. Maybe whatever happened yesterday was the last of it. Colgate, Fluttershy, and the fillies would all forget about this story underneath the old spooky tales going around this month. She would have a few choice words for Lyra. going around spreading all those rumors. Who knows how many ponies Lyra must have talked to by now. List of things, she wasn't finished. Twilight was standing in front of the house with her. As Bonbon got closer, she could pick up the conversation. In any case, it's always been a combination of overactive imaginations and scientifically explainable phenomena. Twilight had that so official tone she used when giving a lecture. I can assure you that any kind of investigation would turn out just that. Really, Twi? You always ruin the fun, Lyra said, frowning. Face it, there are just some things ponies can't explain, and we might have something right here. She pointed a hoof towards the front door. Bonbon slowed down and hung her head. As he approached Twilight, almost instantly, he noticed her. Ah! Now I know you don't buy into any of this, Bonbon. All these stories about ghosts. She smiled and rolled her eyes. Well, Bonbon hesitated. Twilight, you know I usually hate to agree with Lyra, but... She heard it even before I did. We both heard it. I had to admit what happened yesterday was pretty strange. Trying to explain it, and nothing made sense. What you need is a serious scientific investigation to prove that there is nothing going on at your house, Twilight said. What I need is to get all this work done before the end of the month, Bonbon said. Appreciate the concern, Twilight, but I prefer to just let it go. Bonbon waved goodbye to Twilight and followed Lyra inside. It had already been chilly out, but stepping into the house was like entering an icebox. She shivered. Lyra, would you mind starting a fire? Bonbon asked. Already on it. Lyra set a few logs to the fireplace, and supporting her horn to create a small spark of flame. Bonbon let out a sigh and continued on to the kitchen. She set her shopping bags down on the counter, then stopped to rest for a moment. It had to be nearly freezing in there. She could almost see her breath condensing into the air. She headed back to the living room to stand by the fire until the house warmed up. Lyra was slouched on the sofa, idly plucking the strings of her lyre as it floated by her side. So, what have you been telling every pony? Huh? About what? Lyra cocked her head to her side. Oh, you mean about the ghost? Yeah, I guess I might say a few things. About headless ponies and my candy turning into flies? Bonbon said, eyes narrowing. Lyra shook her head. I didn't say anything about the headless horse. You just lied to a very principled group of fillies, Dan. Oh, man, can you imagine how awesome it would be if we did see the headless horse, though? Lyra said, eyes lighting up. I loved that story when I was their age. So cool! It's not cool, it's disturbing, Bonbon said. I'd like to get through this month without any complications. So he turned to head back to the kitchen. With any luck, yesterday's chaos would all be... Bonbon stopped dead in her tracks as soon as he entered the room. For a moment, she was speechless. Then managed to check out. Lyra, did you do this? She heard Lyra slide out the couch and onto the floor. She slowly prodded over to her side. Do what? I only just got home. I was in the living room the whole... Lyra had noticed it too. Whoa! Every cabinet, drawer, shelf in the kitchen was open and completely bare. But the objects weren't gone. They were stacked, floor to ceiling, with curious leaning piles all over the room. Every mixing bowl, spice jar, bag of ingredients, even the silverware was placed on top. Lyra shook her head. You really think I could put something like this? I wish! You're magic. Maybe you didn't realize it. Lyra shook her head. Nah, I'd know as if I did something like this. Bonbon was trying hard to keep her head. She put a hoof to her forehead. Just help me get this all put away. I can't reach all the way up there. But you must have worked so hard on this, Lyra said, staring up at the towers. You're right. It could be a girl ghost. Lyra sighed, looked around. Where's the camera? Can you at least get this picture next to the stuff? Bonbon groaned. I'm trying to use my kitchen. I can't use it if everything's... She just threw a hoof at the chaos. Just one picture, please! Fine. What had Twilight said? Scientifically explainable phenomena? Bonbon could have laughed if she wasn't so shaken right now. It would be a miracle if she made it through the end of the month.